This is the best way to make restaurant-style pizza at home. I'm gonna show you the techniques, the ingredients, and everything I'm using you probably already have at home in your hands. An oven. If you don't have an oven, well, you can make pizza soup from your stovetop. Soup pizza. The classic recipe. It's my no-knead recipe, and this makes amazing pizza, specifically like a pan pizza, Sicilian pizza, Roma pizza. There's a ton of names for it. 1,000 grams of all-purpose flour. I'm doing the same recipe as my no-knead bread recipe. It's 3 ingredients. It's simple to do. The only difference here is I'm just doubling it. So if you haven't checked out that video, I'll leave a link in the description to check it out. Instant yeast. So my normal recipe calls for 1.5 teaspoons. So if I'm just doubling it, I'm gonna do 3. 2 and 3 of instant yeast. 2 teaspoons of kosher salt. And I'm just gonna get that incorporated first before I add the water. I want about an 80% hydration on this dough. So we're gonna do 800 grams of water. Take this and just incorporate it and mix it up. Doesn't take long, comes together pretty quickly. Scrape the sides, scrape the bottom, get that flour incorporated. The only difference I'm gonna do here is I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil because we are making kind of like focaccia style. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of olive oil in this and just enough to kind of like coat the top of it. What the olive oil is gonna do is it's also gonna bring the hydration slightly up, making it a wetter dough. Cover in plastic wrap, leave on my counter for about 4 hours. And when we come back, we'll have a perfectly risen dough that we're ready to use for pizza. 4 hours later, check this out. Look at this. Very much like my 3-ingredient no-knead recipe, this is also just gassed up amazingly. Again, olive oil, we wanna be liberal, we wanna be generous, because we basically want this dough to kind of fry, and then the top is like gonna poof up and be equally as golden, but then the middle is gonna be super soft. This is the best pizza ever. And you wanna be delicate again, because we don't wanna mess up those air bubbles. You wanna keep as much air in that dough as possible, and not try to degas it as much. And I'm just scraping down the sides slowly. Still got all that good olive oil in there too that we put. Now this is wet, and it's a little bit tricky to work with, but you just have to have delicate hands. We're kind of just scooping underneath on the bottom and just lightly stretching and pulling up. Now for me and the size of my pan, this is a perfect measurement. I do have a small trick because not everybody has these full sheet size pans at home. There is a way to get an exact measurement of what dough you need to the correct pan size that you have. You do have to measure your pan in centimeters. That's the only thing. If you do it by inches, it's not gonna work. For example, if you have a pan that's 20 centimeters by 30 centimeters, 20 times 30 is 600. All you have to do is divide it by 2. So you need 300 grams of dough. So then you're gonna have to do some backwards math again on how much flour you need and then 80% in water. But if you follow that, it'll give you a perfect size for your pan. So this, it might seem a little bit small right now, and that's okay. You're gonna work it, but you're not gonna force it, because we are going to kind of just get it to where we think so, where it's kind of uniform and even. And then we're gonna let this rest again. So yes, I mean, the dough itself is minimal work, but there is a lot of like resting periods and sleepy times. So we're gonna do that. That's ready. So we're gonna get another pan, and I'm gonna cover this for about another 30 minutes. The pan on the top is gonna help it proof and keep it a little bit warm. You can cover it with like a tea towel or a damp towel, but I find the pan is just the easiest to clean. When we come back in 30 minutes, it's gonna be a lot more proof, and we'll do our final work and stick it in the oven. While our dough is resting, we are going to prep the ingredients, the toppings, the sauce first and foremost. So let's make the sauce first. Just 1 can. These are San Marzano tomatoes. So we're gonna do, interesting. That just sits on there. These are like, I get them like plump and whole. They're skin off, but they're in the puree because I like to blend it down myself. The tomatoes is the first thing we need. And then I'm gonna do about a pinch of salt. I'm gonna put black pepper as well, the same amount as I did with salt. And then I'm gonna do oregano, about the same amount as I did salt and pepper as well. The last thing in this sauce recipe is a couple glugs of olive oil. I'll say maybe like 2 tablespoons. I'm gonna get my immersion blender out, blend this out nice and smooth. And I can't stress this enough. Pizza sauce, you're not supposed to cook it. If you're cooking your pizza sauce, we can't be friends, honestly. Tomato sauce for pastas and stuff, yes, absolutely cooked, but pizza sauce is supposed to be uncooked. Take my word for it, trust me, or don't. I'm just a stranger on the internet, right? Why do I know this? My restaurant is a pizza place. I've been doing pizza my whole life. I'm just gonna blend this up now. The olive oil here is gonna help like emulsify it. I don't wanna see any chunks in my pizza sauce. Make sure you're making a massive mess when you're doing this too, because I know my wife's gonna love it. Okay, and after about, what's that, 2 minutes of blending, I think we got it to where we want it. I'm gonna add one final ingredient. There's a little bit of tomato paste just to kind of tie it all together. So I'm gonna put maybe about let's call it a tablespoon of tomato paste. And that's just gonna help thicken it up, brighten it up a little bit as well. Okay, I think we got this to where we want it. We'll put that to the side. Ingredients. I am gonna just kind of pick and choose some things around my kitchen. The good thing about this, you can put things that you like, and I make this different every single time. It's never really the same. I'm gonna do some red onion, because I love cooked red onion on a pizza. And I do want these kind of thin, so they kind of cook quickly and caramelize nicely on the pizza. Green olives on this for sure. I want some roasted red peppers for sure. This doesn't have to be fancy stuff. It's coming right from the jar. Definitely use your fingers when you're doing this. Don't get a fork. Your guests will love it. These are pretty good. I'm gonna chop them up a little bit. They are kind of big. I got 2 hungry growing kids and a wife who likes to eat, and myself, I love eating. And so I got my red peppers, rough chop on those. I'm gonna do some green olives. So I got green olives. Got it. I'm like a ninja. I think that's it for ingredients. We gotta do the most important thing, which is cheese. I have this beautiful fresh mozzarella. It's called fior di latte. Fior di latte is very similar to like bocconcini. It's a little bit different than like a fresh mozzarella, meaning that it's just a little bit less moisture content than a fresh mozzarella. It's higher than like a shredded mozzarella, so it will still give you some of that milk fat in there when it's on the pizza, so it has good melting properties, so it won't leave your pizza soupy. This stuff is good. I use it on all my pizzas at the restaurant, and this is just super easy to work with. It comes in like a ball like this, and we're just gonna slice these into like little rounds. You can cube it, you can rip it up and tear it. I just like to kind of cut these little ovals, if you will, and I'll just lay them on top of the pizza. Not thin, but not thick either. I wish you could smell this right now. It's amazing. I think that's enough. So we got our ingredients ready. We got our sauce, we got our red onions, our roasted red peppers, our green olives, our fresh mozzarella cheese, our fior di latte. I'm gonna grab that pizza. It's been proofing for a little bit. Get into the oven, half bake it. This style of pizza, you kind of want to half bake this focaccia. We'll get it out, we'll top it. We're good to go. The dough here, been proofing for a little bit, about 20 minutes. You can see it's kind of almost filled out the whole pan. A little bit of work here to just kind of get it shaped in nicely. You do want to be a little bit delicate, obviously. You don't want to tear it, but it's pretty much there. I got it nice and uniform. You basically, you know, like kind of like you're playing the piano. Ready to go in the oven. It can go in the oven like that. I am gonna sprinkle a little bit of extra salt on top, just to kind of give it some seasoning, another level of flavor. And then I'm also gonna hit it with some garlic powder. Just a light dusting of garlic powder, nothing crazy. If this was like a typical focaccia, you could put like rosemary on this would be really good, like whole garlic cloves. You can even put some olives in this would be really good. But we're just gonna keep it simple because we are gonna add all the pizza toppings, right? So gonna go in a 450-degree oven for about 15 minutes. We are gonna par bake this. We're gonna half cook it. We want it a little bit risen before we top it. 450. And we'll see you in about 15 minutes. Alexa, set a timer for 15 minutes. Lexi just went off. Oh, she's hot. Look at this. Boom. We're about halfway cooked now. We can start to see some browning there. A little bit of browning on the bottom. So now we're gonna do the fun part and top. We got our beautiful pizza sauce here. This is going on the whole thing. And just have fun with this. Like when I do it at home, we usually do like pizza night Friday nights, and I got my kids in here, and they're in here with spoons and little aprons on, and they're putting the cheese on and the toppings that they like. Put a decent amount on here. Don't make it too heavy. And that one can will easily make about 2 pizzas this size. Used about half that sauce there. We're gonna go in with the cheese now. Uniform, but sporadic at the same time. Gonna lay that out. Fresh fior di latte. I'm gonna do some green olives. My kids, they do eat green olives, thankfully, so I will put it on their portion, but everything else I'm probably going to omit. Red onions, like a good amount of that, so I'll leave maybe a quarter of the pizza. No red onions. And then our roasted red peppers. Some mushrooms would be good on this. Maybe some black olives instead of the green. Some pepperoni, bacon, whatever you got lying around. Just, you know, you do this Friday night and we can kind of just use up what's in the fridge. Have this. It's a little bit unconventional, but it is like true to my heritage and being Italian. This is supersada. This is like a homemade salami. I actually make this myself. Maybe I will do a video one day on that. This stuff is so good. And I am gonna slice some of this up. Let's just toss this to the side quickly for now. I'm gonna do little thin slices of this homemade supersada. I'm gonna use it as like a pepperoni. This is gonna be the piece de resistance. couple slices of this. I don't know why I didn't think of this before. And we're gonna lay some of that. My kids actually will eat this. It is a little bit on the spicy side, so they won't eat a ton. I'll leave it off their side for now. Pepperoni, and that's it. That's gonna go back into the oven for another, I would say 12 to 15 minutes until you see kind of golden edges, the toppings kind of crisp up, the cheese is kind of bubbling and melting. So back in at 450, and we'll come back to that in a little bit. Alexa, timer for 12 minutes. Oh yeah, look at this. Look at this, come on. The cheese is nicely brown, the edges perfectly golden. The undercarriage, I know everybody's always talking about undercarriage when they're talking about pizza, but the undercarriage is nice and crispy. And look at that, because we put so much oil underneath that, should just come out nicely like that. We wanna wait till it cools. We don't wanna cut into it completely just yet because all the toppings will kind of just like flutter out. We're gonna wait a little bit, maybe 5 minutes till this cools, and then this is pizza night done right. I'm gonna go kind of right here, down the middle. Look at that, just like my no knead recipe, super light, super airy. Come on, it's gonna be nice and soft and pillowy on the inside and nice and crunchy on the outside. I'm a corner guy, so I'm gonna get a corner. This is so hot. I don't wanna put my mouth on this, but I will. This is so good. It's soft, it's pillowy, it's crunchy on the outside. The fat from the cheese and then the acid from the tomatoes. Like, you're gonna hear this a lot on my channel. If you can balance out your fat and acid in dishes, that's like the main key. This is the best pizza ever. This is so good. If you want to see the easiest way to make bread, here's my 3 ingredient no knead recipe. Like and subscribe. Woo!